Welcome back to our Wealthy Mindset, where we talk about all things money, mindset, and business. It's your host, Cindy, your fractional CFO and financial bestie. And today's episode is going to be a little different. I've been trying to do more examples of numbers and calculations so you can see what I do behind the scenes with my fractional CFO clients, and I will be doing with my clients in her profit era. I'm getting a lot of good feedback on the videos, so I want to continue doing them. So I try to print out the sheets, but it shows up way too small on the camera when I try to explain it. So I'm going to show the calculations and give a breakdown without the video on me. That way you can fully see the numbers and get an understanding of how the Clarity Control and Cashflow framework works. Now I'm going to go through my three-part framework: Clarity, Control, Cashflow, and a client example so you can see how it works. Let's start with Clarity. Now this client was a makeup artist in the wedding industry. Her income fluctuated month over month, quarter to quarter, as you can see. She was not paying herself and she had no savings. She lived off her credit card and line of credit in both her business and her personal life because there was never enough money left over to pay herself. So what would happen during her slow months? She lived off of her credit card and her line of credit, racking up the interest and the balance. And then during her wedding season, where she made most of her money, that's when she would pay everything off, and she lived in that cycle over and over again. She was getting fed up because she's like, Cindy, I'm making good money. I have a team hired, but there's never anything left over. Like, I don't know what to do. I want to buy a house. I want to invest my money. I just feel like I'm not getting ahead no matter what I try to do on my own. Now, step 2 was control. So when I looked at her numbers, this is the framework and game plan I had. So I thought, how can we generate more consistent income for her during her slow months? Or really plan for the slow months with setting up a savings account. Also reviewing her contracts with her team. Does the pay structure make sense, especially during the off season? When I spoke to her about this, she really had no structure with her team. Everyone was paid different rates based on experience. Some got commission as well. She wasn't optimizing their schedules. It was just all over the place. We also reviewed her overall expenses. So where was the money actually going? Outside of paying for her team, was she doing Sephora spending sprees? Was she buying hair tools? Was she working with different coaches, masterminds? Like, where was that money actually going? So step 3 is cash flow. So we worked together for like a good year to turn things around. So you can see the top is her numbers from before. The bottom is the numbers after we worked together and we tweaked things up. So the biggest thing was generating more income during her off season. What could she do during that time? So we found new ways to generate her more income. So she started doing master classes. She started doing destination weddings. She really went lean with her team and really optimizing the schedule that she had. We also put a profit structure in her business so she could finally pay herself. So 50% of the $190,000 is what she paid herself. She saved 30% for taxes, which is the $57,000. And then we set up an emergency savings for her of 20%, which is the $38,000. Now, typically emergency savings should make up about 3 to 6 months. You can see that if you add up the $15,000 and the $40,000 for the 6 months, gives you about $55,000. So she covers a good 3 months. So she is in a comfortable position. It really varies client to client on what your expenses look like and if you should actually save up for that 6 months. So this is what it looks like when you work with me one-on-one with fractional CFO. and what I'll be helping my clients through in her profit era as well. So if you have questions, feel free to send me a DM and we can go more into detail on what it would look like for you. Now that you've seen the example of the makeup artist going through the Clarity Control Cashflow framework, let's break down how you can apply it into your own business. Now, clarity. So, what's the problem you're currently facing? Is there no money left over after paying your expenses? Or is your income not consistent month over month? Maybe the number of clients you help changes month to month. You're always looking for new clients, getting new people in. Maybe it's your offer, your pricing. The point of clarity is to identify where the problem actually exists. Now, control is once you know what the problem you are facing, what do you need to do in order to generate more cash? So there's three ways to make more money. Either you need to sell more, increase your prices, or audit your expenses. So control is really looking at what needs to change in your business so that you have more cash coming in. So let's say, for example, that you need to audit your expenses because you're spending way too much. Now, once you eliminate the expenses that you no longer need, that's going to help you get more cash. So control is really looking at what you can do or you need to eliminate in order to have more money so that you can pay yourself, you have emergency savings, and you can overall just think about the long-term position of your business. Now, step 3 is cash flow. So once you identify what needs to happen to generate more cash, do you have systems in place to what you want to do with that money? So setting up 3 to 6 months of emergency savings. Looking at the bigger picture of your business. Let's say you want to hire someone. So how much do you need to pay them? What do the hours look like? How much cash do you need to generate in order to pay that person so you can still pay yourself? What I see happens is that people think growing and scaling is hiring team members, not really looking at how much money is coming in. And then their revenue goes towards paying their team. And then they have nothing left over to pay themselves or for the savings or to reinvest that profit into other areas of their business. So it's really important that you apply the framework in your business to understand what the issue is, where you can cut back or what you need to change. And then making those changes should result in you generating more cash and keeping more cash on hand. Now, if you're going through this and you're like, Cindy, this is very overwhelming, I don't know what to do, or you just need a fresh perspective on things, that's where I would come in and support you. So I'd love to support you. You can send me a DM on Instagram at it's Cindy Kumar. And sometimes you just need like an outside perspective on things. So send me a DM if you're interested in going more deeper for your business. I can let you know more about what CFO on call looks like or what her profit era is going to look like as well. So send me a DM if you found this example helpful. Please let me know and give me some feedback. Also share it with a friend who also needs to hear it. That's also going through a cash flow issue or a season of being in the red. The more you share this, the more women I'm able to help. Thanks for joining me on Her Wealthy Mindset, and I'll see you next week.